Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, 5 Tips in 20 Minutes, Microsoft Teams, presented by our New Horizons expert instructor, Jessica Long. My name is Mariela Salinas, and I'll be assisting and moderating our session today. We are in Zoom for today's webinar, and we will be sharing a copy of this recording with you in an email after the session. We do encourage participation throughout the session, so please use the chat or that Q&A option for our short Q&A after the presentation. Educate 360 is so excited to present this webinar today, so without further ado, I will hand it over to you, Jessica.
Hi, everyone. As Mariella said, I am Jessica. I'll be your instructor for this nice little webinar here, 5 tips in 20 minutes for Microsoft Teams. I want to start off kind of giving an overview of what we're going to look at inside of there. I'm going to show some slides. We're going to actually show some pieces as we go into it. Some updates that improve collaboration and productivity inside of Teams, some extra things they've added. We'll be customizing meetings and streamlining content inside of those meetings. And last but not least, exploring AI-driven features that are available inside of those meetings as well. So that's what we're going to cover in our short little time together. The first thing I want to mention is the improvements to collaboration and productivity. And one of the main improvements that they've added into Teams is this loop component. So I'm bringing up my lovely Teams piece here, and loop can be in meetings. It can also be inside of chats. And basically what loop allows us to do when I'm inside of a chat at the moment, it's this lovely loop icon, nice little, kind of looks like a half of a P in there. When I hit that loop piece, it offers up this ability for us to have a very integrated collaborative experience where I can add a title to this, let's say testing out loop. I can share ideas and brainstorm, need to figure out how this works, and I can send that off inside of there. And then what loop does is it allows us to go ahead and actually work together inside of that piece. And of course, my phone doesn't want to actually let me do it on my real account here. But each person would be able to go ahead and create this. Loop itself is its own application. And so what you would eventually see as you logged into your 365 account is you'd actually see your loop components inside of here. You'd see it under your recents, you can see it on your OneDrive, so you'd have that access later. But it's meant to be a completely intricate, all here. You can copy it, send it out to a Word document in there. It's a little bit quicker than co-authoring a document, but we are allowed to kind of work together inside of those steps. So you have that loop piece. Collaborative notes is another one of our improvements for collaboration. Collaborative notes are actually inside of a meeting, and I'm going to go ahead and start our lovely meeting that I made for our session today. And when I do join, first thing I will mention is I did add a loop to our actual meeting piece because loop can be added to meetings as well as to those pieces. When I do join, what we have How about now? We good now? Yep, Team stole it. Teams is fun and mean. So Team stole it when I joined in that meeting session. I apologize for that. I was not paying attention to the actual microphone that I was joining with inside of Teams there. So what I was saying is once I'm in the meeting, there is a notes piece at the top. And with the notes piece, it's a loop collaborative as well. And it allows us to have our meeting notes inside of here. And again, the users that are in the meeting can also see these notes and they're able to interact with it as well. So they're able to interact with those pieces as well. So we have those notes that do allow us to, again, be more collaborative inside of our environment. We could have a brainstorming session right there on the notes, and we can go ahead and actually have people adding in notes if they wanted to as well, allowing us later to copy it out of here, open it in loop, and see it whenever we want to. It's automatically shared inside of those pieces. So you have those collaborative notes. Now, this one isn't so much brand new with our meetings, with our files, with our team, but co-authoring is something that I always love mentioning inside of here. When we have a file, whether it is on our team section side or whether it is on our chat side, we have the ability to co-author where we're able to go into a file, open up that file, which mine's opening up my computer because why not? And we would have the ability to work together on this piece. Whether I'm in my program or on Teams, I would be able to go ahead and work with my coworkers. I would see their cursor moving around. I would see their little icon, their name, their information up in the upper corner, and I'd be able to work together with each other. The versioning has gotten a lot better. It's absolutely amazing. The versioning history and the working together has gotten much better paced, whether I'm on my computer program or online, it's pretty great. But you have those co-authoring. Then sharing files inside of a meeting has changed a little bit. When we go ahead and share inside of a meeting here, one thing that they started doing was they do allow you to share your screens, but they also allow you to do this PowerPoint live. And with these PowerPoint live, what we can pull, and this is pulling from my OneDrive, if I pull this PowerPoint, I'm sharing inside of here, which makes it a little more intricate. It allows me to go ahead and see this. The user is not seeing this. I'm seeing everything inside of this screen, which is my notes. I'm able to advance. I'm able to see my slide sorter. I'm able to annotate. Yep. So people can actually interact with it a lot. And sadly, my phone's not going to show too much, but my phone is showing just the slide. You're getting your presenter view right here inside of there. The only requirement for you to do this is to make sure your PowerPoint is stored onto your OneDrive or your Teams. And as long as it's on your OneDrive or Teams location or SharePoint location, you can actually go ahead and share just that. And imagine most people that I've seen do a presentation, they put the wrong screen, they share the wrong screen, they're showing their presenter view instead of their presentation. And this allows you to make sure that you're not going to present the wrong thing with that PowerPoint live. So you have that share capability with files. Same idea with other programs too. There's Excel Live, you can browse your computer, there's Word Live. You can actually interact a lot more so that productivity and capability is awesome inside of there. And last but not least, looking at improvements inside of here, workflows. They've added this brand new category. Now this is, I'm going to keep my meeting open as we go through. This is a brand new category on your channels. And when you go to your Teams section of Teams and you go to your channel, the three dots to the right, you can start creating workflows right from here without having to go to Power Automate. And they have templates to help you figure things out. They have notifying your team, forwarding emails to a channel. There's a planner connection, SharePoint connection, and you can create workflows that allow you to, again, quick and easy templates or build your own, or you can stay right here and start building out automation inside of your team's program. So you get that productivity and you're all here with those pieces. So those are 5 brand new kind of improvements and added to us for productivity inside of there through Teams channels, through our loop, and through our meetings inside. The other thing that we wanted to take a look at was customizing meetings and streamlining content. One thing I want to mention, I unfortunately do not have this. You do need to have Teams Premiere to actually do this one, but I thought it was awesome. So if you have Teams Premiere, great. When you're creating the meeting and you're inviting people to join, there will be a meetings options button, which I'm going to show you in a second once I create a meeting. In that meetings options button will be a spot where you can add watermarks to your screen, which will essentially put each person's either, you can either make your own to have your own covering it, or each person who's looking at it would have their email sitting across the screen. So if they tried screenshotting it, their email would be obscuring some of the pieces inside of there. It is under meeting options, which I will show you in a quick second. But I unfortunately don't have the setting for it. But it is awesome to make sure that people aren't stealing your material that might be a little more sensitive inside of there. So to get to that spot, which again, you won't see mine, but I'm going to my calendar. I'm going to go ahead and create a new event. And then I can add my little title. And then I can invite a person to it. And once I invite a person to it, that's when the meeting options will show up on my nice little event. And with meeting options, if I had premium, I would have it inside of here, but there are still some pretty great options like who can access it, what are people's roles, so you can add co-organizers to it really easily. What are some production tools? What do participants have? Allow mics, allow cameras, allow the meeting chat. Do you want a Q&A? So you can do anonymous posts, allow reactions, the nice little smiley face in the meeting we'll see in a second. We get an attendance report, which I think is awesome. Record automatically. Normally I don't turn that one on just because recording might be a questionable thing inside of there. And then also allowing Copilot if you have Copilot, our AI capability, using Copilot for prompts inside of there. So you do have meeting options that allow you to kind of adjust it. So when you're setting the meeting, that's when you go to meeting options to set this. You don't set the meeting options normally after or when the meeting's happening, the meeting options don't take effect. So you want to set those before the meeting starts. It can be before the actual start time. So as long as no one's joined, you can go ahead and change the meeting options. But once someone joins, you want to stop playing around with options. They don't like to change up after the fact. All right, now, when we look at, when we do look at our meetings, one thing that I do love mentioning is they have added, and these have kind of been there for a little bit, but we have the ability to change up some views, and they have added a couple kind of great options. One, back in 2020, they did add together mode. And with together mode, if people's cameras are on, instead of seeing them in little boxes, you're actually seeing them in an auditorium style. Now, this has come out before. What's new is you're not stuck in these white chairs that are super fun here. You could be in an amphitheater outside. You could be in a colorful classroom. You could be in a spaceship, apparently. So you can have fun with the backgrounds inside of it, giving you a little fun into your meetings, because we all know meetings can be a little bit much. The good thing, that's just for you. You're not force feeding everyone else to have the same view layout. So it's not forced on anybody else, but you are able to kind of enjoy your meetings a little bit more as you go through. So you have those brand new meeting layouts that you can kind of change your view for. Again, not pushed for everybody else, but available for you. And then last but not least, a lot of people I know hate their camera and hate their pieces there. So one option that's kind of come out is the ability to create your own avatar. And with your own avatar, you get the chance to add in this nice, lovely piece. And then you can actually build up your avatar where you could have that sitting in your meeting. You could have that avatar sitting inside of that meeting instead of having to worry about your camera being on instead. So if you got camera fatigue, you got those pieces, building up that avatar would be your next best thing. So it still looks like you, even though it's not your actual camera. So the avatars are brand new. They're a little fun. There was a component, I think they actually took it down for a little bit, but there was an extra app where we could actually walk around in there together. So Tatiana, to get that avatar, I was in the meeting and I hit the drop down by my camera for avatars. But it is an app that you would add in to your teams. And when you add it in, then you can get it from your navigation on the left. You can go to avatars and you can build it from there, or you can open it up from there. So it is an app you have to install. Mine's having a fun glitch while I'm in the meeting here going on. But I do know you can get it from your meetings, whether you're starting a meeting or not. So it's mine is glitching out at the moment, but you would need to add the app. I do know, and I'm going to close this out for a second. I do know when I join a meeting and I join, when you do that join screen, if you hit the gear next to your avatar, gear, normally it lets you, oh, that's not letting me. Hit the, not the gear, hit the effects and avatars. You can go to avatars and set yours up from here too. So in joining a meeting, you can say avatars and create it if you have it. You should be able to open the app and create your avatar, which will be under the apps or the three dots and then avatars, and you could create it from there. So you do have those avatars inside of there to create. Still need the app and those pieces in there. Then last but not least, our last little piece. This is driven by AI, and you don't need Copilot to do it, which Copilot is Microsoft's AI software. You don't need Copilot. It's now installed with Teams. What we can do with meetings when we are recording them is we have the ability to have a transcript. And it is a real-time transcript. And basically what I'm going to do here, just so you can see it, and bear with me, we'll have some little fun here with the possible echoing I'm going to try to avoid. I start recording and confirm it. You can do a transcript only, but most people do the recording and transcript inside of there. With the transcript, and that's what I was trying to avoid. This would allow us to go ahead and have real-time pieces. What I did, and I'm going to stop this here, is I actually did record a session earlier inside of a meeting. And what happens once you finish, so when I stop recording, it takes a little bit of time, but depending on how your meeting was set up, mine was set up just as an invite, which means it's going to show up in my chat. In my chat, I have my meeting. And what they do is they actually have this nice little piece where you have your video, you have your transcript, and AI created a recap that you could take a look at. And the transcript shows up with your recording so you can see it. you have your notes, you have your attendance, and again, there's a recap option that the AI generated for us that we're able to go ahead and view as well. So we get that chance to actually have it. We can also download the transcript and use it and keep it for later as well. So that's AI generated. And I will say this, I do talk slower, but I've seen people talking faster, and the transcript actually picks up really well for all people as long as they're talking. So even if you're a quicker talker, even if you're a slower talker or quieter talker, the transcript actually does pick up pretty well when people are actually talking inside of those steps. And again, depending on how the meeting was made, my meeting was just a regular old meeting, nothing fancy. So mine are held inside of the chat. If you assigned it to a channel, your channel would go ahead and have your channel on your teams would have that recap and the video and all of that, which the video is stored on stream. So with that, we have talked about those three different areas: improvements, collaboration, and productivity, customizing your meeting out with those meeting options and streamlining those contents, and AI-driven features inside of there. So I will say that with all that covered there, I'll open up for any other questions that might be in there.
Absolutely, Jessica. I will give our audience a minute to throw any last minute questions, but I wanted to let them know that if they needed any more info on this topic or wanted to learn a little bit more about Microsoft Teams, I went ahead and dropped a link in the chat. They can also visit us at newhorizons.com. But I believe you answered the question that came through, which was how do you get to view avatars? So you should be all good to go on that answer. And I think that we answered also a lot of questions here today and got a lot of great tips out. So I wanted to thank our amazing audience for joining us today. And I wanted
Mariel,
to, yeah.
sorry, I do see someone with a hand raised.
Oh, got a
Uh,
hand raised. Oh, yes, Ashley. If you want to throw a question in the chat, we would love to help out, hear you out. You let us know. I will go ahead and also make sure that we make sure we get all of our answers question or all of our questions answered. Awesome, getting a lot of great feedback in the
you're
chat as
welcome,
well.
guys.
Oh, no worries at
Oh,
all, Ashley. No worries at all. All righty. Well, I think we are all good to go. So thanks again, audience, for joining us for our quick 20 minutes in Teams. And thank you so much, Jessica, for all your amazing insight.
no problem. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
All righty. We'll talk to you all very soon. Hopefully, see you in the classroom. Bye, everyone.